So when you come down, you see the defendant with a hose, that doesn't have a sprayer, it's just a hose, kind of trying to get close and get some water on it and turn it off?
This is the plaintiff, Haji Abdullah. He says the defendant's van caught fire one night, and his car was parked next to it, and his mirror was melted off by the intense heat. The defendant keeps saying he'll pay to have it fixed, but hasn't, so he's here suing for the $374.32 in repair costs. This is the defendant, Paul. He says he has no idea how his van caught fire that night, but he doesn't remember anyone being parked next to him. And there was no debris from any other cars in the street, so how's he responsible? Besides, he never even saw a picture of any damages, so he's not paying for something he didn't do. He's accused of making things heated.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Abdullah, tell me what happened.
On February 17, 2020, around 12:45 a.m., I returned home from a concert. I may have been home probably about 10 or 15 minutes, looking for a snack, something to eat that evening. And all of a sudden, I heard a rapid knocking on my door. I asked who it was. It was my neighbor. He stated, I think you want to come out and move your car. The car next to you is on fire. So at that point, I ran out. Yes, so I ran outside and I saw the defendant's car in a blaze. I saw the defendant standing in front of his car with a water hose, not with a spray nozzle on it, but just a water hose with water trickling out the water hose. And he was standing there in front of the car, kind of crying out some type of. At that point, I had to decide what I was going to do because the car was blazing. My car was right next to it. So
Oh, goodness.
I'm sorry.
I can't. You have a video of it. Can I play the video? Let me see this. This is amazing.
Sure.
Is your car the car I'm seeing right next to it?
No, I actually took this video after I moved my car.
After you, yeah, I imagine that, yeah. So you see this, what do? You decide you're gonna run in there and move the car and...
Right. So what I did, because as you saw, the fire was blazing, so I went through the passenger side of the car, climbed over to the driver's side, moved my car from the parking space, and I moved to another parking space. And at that time, by the time I got out the
when
car,
you come down, you see the defendant with a hose, that doesn't have a sprayer, it's just a hose, kind of trying to get close and get some water on it and turn it off?
Yeah, I guess you could say he was getting close. I felt like he was just standing there, and he was, I don't know what he was doing. He was just standing there with the water hose.
What happened to your car? Do you know what it was that caused the fire?
No, ma'am. I was returning home from work, parked the vehicle, had gone upstairs, and Marie and I both, Marie is my witness, Marie and I both heard a big bang. Well, that's not an unusual thing to hear in our complex because there's a busy street behind our complex that has transformers hit, which makes the big boom. So I went out back to look, but Marie with her smarts looked out front and said, "Paul, your car's on fire." And from that point, we called 911 immediately. And I decided I was going to take things into my own hands. This was at 12:10 that the 911 call went out. So at 12:10, the fire was already underway. I went out, got the garden hose, was doing the best I could with what poor water pressure we have in our complexes.
Right.
You know,
right.
And couldn't get enough water to do much damage, but I stayed there on it till the fire department got there. And they told me, "Hey, get out of there." because
Yeah, exactly.
attorney,
Both of you. It's like it's hysterical to me that there is a raging fire. We don't know if that car is going to blow up, and you're standing there with a limp water hose trying to get some water on it, and I'll just scoot in through the passenger side. I'll be fine. Y'all are crazy. That's all I got to say. Mr. Paul, do you know Mr. Abdullah, or you guys have never met?
no, we have met. We're neighbors, but we just meet in passing. I've talked to him about swimming before and his softball and biking, but
Okay,
it's
but
just
why
an occasional
didn't he?
pass.
Okay, so didn't he ever come up to you and say, "Hey, my mirror melted"?
Yes, he did. I never saw the melted mirror. I feel like I'm being taken advantage as I'm disabled 67-year-old
What?
gentleman as of January 18th, and don't feel I'm responsible for it.
Wait, I'm sorry. There's an easy answer to whether you're responsible. Did you see a burned mirror?
No, I never saw it.
Did you
He
not
never
show him
showed
your
me a
car
picture.
or your picture, Mr. Abdullah? Did you show him your car or your picture?
I showed him my estimate, and he didn't seem as a concerned neighbor to come out and see the car. The car's parked in front of his building every day. And I just want to back up.
Did
He
you
had a
ask him
water
to come
hose
out
out.
and see the car?
No, I did not. I did not.
So if your defense, Mr. Paul, is that you haven't seen proof it happened, there's none so blind as he who will not see. Why wouldn't you say, "Oh my gosh, can I go see the mirror"? Why didn't you go out there? You know what? Here, I'm going to force this vision upon you. Hold on. Check that out. There's a melted mirror right there.
Yes, ma'am. And I
Yeah, it's melted as
pictures
all
to you.
get out. Yeah, but so if he has a melted mirror, what do you think he did? He set his own mirror on fire after your fire to take advantage of you because you're 67, which, by the way, isn't
No,
that
I
old?
think I don't think he was parked next to me during the blaze.
Then how did his
And it-
mirror get melted? And how did he bring it up right after your fire? Just a big old coinky dink?
Okay.
What'd you do, Mr.
Yes.
Abdullah? Did you set your own mirror on fire just so you could frame the elderly Mr. Paul? Did that happen?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah, you don't need to answer that. That was rhetorical. All right, let me see the bill for your the replacement of your mirror. Did you actually get it fixed?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so I should be looking at the receipt from Curry Honda.
That's correct.
Okay, what did it cost you to get it fixed?
$374.
$374.32. Mr. Paul, did the fire department ever figure out what it was that caused the fire?
No, ma'am. They
have
were
no
happy
clue?
that there was no clue that there was no.
And how old is the
damage
car?
done. It was a 2003 Toyota Sienna. But ma'am, I think I forwarded some pictures to you which showed during the blaze there was no parked in that spot. I don't believe that the mirror was melted by my car. I thought it could have happened at any time in my
your
lifetime.
exact statement and your answer to the complaint was there were no cars parked around me. I saw the
No, there
video.
was not in that-
Hey, let me talk.
that-
Don't
that-
talk over me. Don't talk over me. I saw the video, and I can see a car parked right next to you. So
On the
I know
other
that's
side.
not true. I would,
On the
yeah.
other side, ma'am.
Well, that's not what you said. That isn't what you said in your answer to the complaint. I also don't think that you're taking note of cars in the environment when you're out there with a hose trying to turn off the fire. I think that your attention might be a little divided. I also can't get a reasonable answer from you on why the guy would pick on you and have a melted mirror. How did his mirror melt? There was a fire. Was
Could
there
have
a
happened.
different fire?
There could have been, ma'am.
There could have been. And Martians could have landed here and just melted his mirror with their hot breath. But the likelihood that it's not your exact fire when he has a video of your exact fire on the night that it's happening is pretty unlikely. My verdict is for the plaintiff in the amount of the $374.32. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the plaintiff prevails in this case. He's going to get what he was seeking. Paul, you seem to be at odds. You don't believe that the car was there? Really? You still think that way?
His car wasn't there. Yes, sir. And he said it started at 12. He got home at 12:30. Well, the fire started at 12:10. Why would he pull up next to a car on fire? My God, is he stupid?
Well, look,
that's all I
maybe
can
he's a
say.
little off on his time, but the evidence was so strong in his favor. Mr. Abdullah, I'm sure you're relieved at this point, right?
Correct. Definitely.
I mean, it's hard to think he doesn't believe that that your mirror was burned by that, but obviously the judge agreed you were right. So you should
Yeah.
feel good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good for you for suing. All right, that brings the case to a close.
Obviously, a compensable claim for damages here. The car next to him is on fire. It melts the side of his mirror. And frankly, this could have been a much more expensive case if the plaintiff hadn't had the nerve and the courage to run down there and jump in the passenger side, because the driver's side's too hot, and actually get his car the heck out of there.
How does he really think he's being taken advantage of? I mean, where does he think the guy's thing was melted? You know, I mean,
That's just it. I mean, what's he going to do? Take a little blowtorch or something and torch the mirror? Why not torch the whole side of the car and get a new car? The hell with this. Why just stop there? He's going to scam somebody. If you're going to grip somebody out of money, don't stop at a $300 mirror.
Yeah.
Get the whole package. What the hell?
And if your car doesn't, why would you damage your car just to see if you might be able to get, and there's no other, maybe enough, maybe, yeah, I guess anything's possible, but it's pretty obvious what happened.
Right.
I mean,
although I got to imagine, though, this guy, Paul, the defendant, he heard those words that no man ever wants to hear in the middle of the night when your wife wakes you up or yells at you and says,
your car's
Paul,
on fire.
your car's on fire. Oh, no. Oh, boy.
And I'm just imagining the garden hose with no spray to it, just, kind of limply, just trying to get some water pressure on there. It's just crazy.
Okay, Sherry wants to know this. Hey, Harvey. While driving down the road, a car in front of me kicked up a rock and it broke my windshield. Are they liable to replace my windshield? Sorry, Sherry. Generally, no. There is no negligence there. The driver couldn't have seen a rock on the ground as they're driving along. And if it's not really avoidable, there's no negligence. And if there's no negligence, sorry, but you're out of luck. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case already inside the courtroom.
This is the plaintiff, Kamisha Reynolds. She says she loaned a former family member money, and no matter how hard she tries, she can't get her to pay her back. She's tired of all the runaround she's getting and is suing for the $500 she's owed. This is the defendant, Nikisha Sweetland. She says she sent the plaintiff money through her Zelle account and has no idea why she's being sued, because the money was deducted from her account. And as far as she's concerned, that's case over. She's accused of non-repayment of a loan.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff claims that she loaned the defendant, a family member, money, and you guessed it, she got stiffed. But the defendant says that she sent the plaintiff money through a money app called Zelle and can prove it. It's the case of get the Zelle out of here.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Reynolds, how is it that you know Ms. Sweetland?
She is my kids' grandma, their relative.
Your kid's grandma's relative, okay. And at some point, how long have you known her, by the way?
Maybe 5-6 years.
Okay, and then she asked you for money?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
So in December of 2019, she sent me a message on Facebook Messenger asking if I could loan her $1,500. And I said, I don't have that much money to loan you. And I said I could give you 500. I could loan you 500, not 1,500. And she said, okay. I said, when would you be able to pay me this money back? Because it's not my money. I'm taking it from my husband's account to loan you. And she said she'll pay it back in January after income tax.
All right, so did she pay it back in January after income tax?
No.
All right, did she ever pay it back?
After January, she said if I could give her more time, she would try to work up the money because she didn't get it, I guess. And January, February, March, nothing. She said she's gonna send it back to me. It was in, I think, May. And She said she's gonna Zelle it back to me. I said,
Okay. And did you tell her where to Zelle it?
no. She said she's gonna send it to me through Zelle. I said, okay.
Did you ever get it through Zelle? Yes or no? Did you ever get it through Zelle?
No.
All right. And according to you, Miss Sweetland, what happened?
Okay, dear Anna, yes, I did borrow the money from Kamisha, and it was in March that I sent her the money, and I Zelled the money to her. She said, I asked her, how do you want me to send her the money? Do you want me to send you the money the same way you gave me the money? Because she Zelled me the money. I was out of the country when I borrowed the money from her. She Zelled me the money, and I asked her, do you want me to send you the money the same way I sent you guys? And you have all my evidence with the text messages and the message.
Yeah, let me ask you a question.
Proof, yes.
Where did you send the money?
So I sent the money through Zelle to Kamisha.
Yeah, I know you've told me 6 times
Yes.
you sent it through Zelle. What I want to know is what phone number did you send it to? That's what I
Kamisha's
want to
phone
know.
number. Kamisha's phone number.
Okay, just a moment. It's in March. When did you borrow the money?
I borrowed the money in December, and I was out of the country. I told her.
Okay, so hold on. There is, I see a cash payment to Kamisha Pierre of $500 on March 14th at this number. Who's Kamisha Pierre?
That's Kamisha. That's her married name.
Ms. Reynolds is Kamisha Pierre?
Yes.
That's not my married name.
Or that's her. Or
Okay,
that's
well,
her
is
maiden
8699
name.
your number?
Yes, ma'am.
So if this is where she sent it, why is there a problem? Here's the confirmation number. What happened?
I never received it. The way
No,
I
wait,
send
listen to
them.
my question. Have you ever seen this picture that I am looking at?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So did she ever show you that picture to show you that she sent it to the number?
No.
Whose number is that? Who gets that money? Is that money going to your husband's account? Is that what's happening? What happened there? Where's the money? Because if that's the right phone number, it's linked to whatever bank account is linked to that phone number. So what bank account do you have linked to the phone number?
I don't know. I didn't receive it.
Okay, did you Zelle her the money from this
No.
number?
No.
How did you Zelle her the money originally?
I went into the bank. It's on my paper here. I went to the bank, to the counter, deposit the money in my account. Then from my account, she transferred it to her account because
She can't transfer money out of your account.
That's
Stop.
a lie.
She can't transfer money
Sorry,
out of your
Jeremiah.
No, excuse you. She can't transfer money out of your account. You got to transfer the money. So how did you transfer the money to her? Did you
I went
send
to
it
the
through
bank.
wire? Did you send it through Zelle? Did you send it through Venmo? How did you get the money from you to her in December?
I sent it to her account.
How?
I went into the bank, deposit the money in my account. From my account, I transfer it to her account.
How? Through wire? Through the bank? Did the bank do it for you? The bank themselves
bank.
did it for you?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Miss Sweetland. How was it that you received the $500? Through a wire into your account? Or did you get it?
She Zelled the money to me because I told her.
Do you have the
to
proof
Zelle
that she
money to
Zelled
me.
the, stop and listen. Do you have proof that she Zelled the money to you?
I have it through. I don't know if I sent it to your assistant, but if
You
it's
didn't.
there, it's
You
in
didn't.
my bank.
But what you
Okay.
do have, there are back and forth a lot of text between you guys. And here it is, December 13th. Do you have Zelle through your bank? Zelle it to me. No, I'm going to download it. Okay. If not, PayPal. You were really desperate for this money. You want to put it in the bank, much better. Okay, let me know, then you get it. Just ask them to transfer it for you or to set up the Zelle for you, and you can do it on online banking. Well, it sounds like maybe that's what happened, that the bank just did it for her. But either way, she sends it to that number, and that number is associated with a certain bank account. All right? So we know it's the correct number, and she sent you that to show it to you that she sent it to that number. So where is your bank account to show that the money didn't get in there? Because everything she's showing me makes it look like the money was sent there. Are you still with your husband? Are you guys
No.
together? Are you guys having... so the money went to your husband's account.
No, we never have a joint account. No.
No, the money went to whatever account was linked to the Zelle, to that phone number, and that phone number was linked at the bank to your husband's account because that's the money you sent it through. So that $500 went back to the account that your husband had at the bank. What bank did you go to
He the Bank of America.
to send her the money? Okay,
Yes.
so did you ever go to Bank of America to see if the money was paid back into that account?
Yes, I went.
Okay, let me see your Bank of America accounts to prove to me that the money didn't go in.
I went into the bank, deposit, because I cannot just transfer, go in the bank, deposit it into her account. They said I have to put it in my account first, which I did on December 13th. You have the paper there.
You can put that down. I've got it. Hold on. CTTLR transfer to check 2087 Banking Center, Norwich. She didn't Zelle it to you.
No, I
That's
didn't.
not how the money came to you. You think she Zelled it to you, but she didn't. So I presume that you've called Zelle and told them, hey, where's my money? Because it didn't get to her because she doesn't have an account for it to get to. Why didn't the money come back to you?
I called my bank when the $500 says that it came out. When Kamisha told me that she never received the money, first I verified. I said, "This is your phone number?" She says yes. Because before I send money
Right.
to anybody, I make sure I verify if that's their number. It said register under
Well,
Zelle.
right,
because-
but what you should
So-
have asked is, did you get Zelle? Do you have Zelle? Can I Zelle this money to you? I never Zelle money to anybody until I Zelle them $1. I Zelle them $1, and then I tell them, you call me when you get your $1. And I mean, unless there's somebody who I do business with all the time. Then when they get their $1, then I send the rest of the money. You asked her, is this your number? And then you Zelled it to that number. But here's the thing. There's no Zelle account. She doesn't have a bank account associated with the number. So I don't understand how Zelle took the money out of your account or how your bank account took the money out of your account. Where's the money right now? Where is it? It's floating somewhere in the air because she doesn't have it. I'm looking now at her bank statement. She just wired the money to you. She didn't Zelle it to you. But you know how you got the money. You found the money in your, because you used Zelle with your bank account. So you just assumed
Yeah,
she
you Zelle.
Zelled it
I
to you.
Zelle. I Zelle everybody.
Here's what I want to see. So
Yeah.
right, I understand. So you show me how she Zelled you the money because she's showing me how she wire transferred it to you. So you show me how she Zelled it to you that would have justified you Zelling it back.
I have Bank of America, but when I called Kamisha if she received the money, she said she got a text, and the text stated that the $500 went into her TD bank account, but she don't have a TD bank account.
Stop. You got a text from who, Kamisha?
From, I don't know what number, but it says TD Bank.
Show me the text.
I don't have that phone anymore. No, that phone got lost.
Did you forward the text to her? Did you send her a copy of the text?
No.
I don't know who has a TD bank account and or why somebody would have one associated with that number. This is an issue for the police, I guess. But the problem here that we have is that you are telling me, Judge, I sent it to her the same way she sent it to me. And, you know, that ought to be okay. But I'm not seeing any proof that she ever Zelled it to you. I'm seeing her bank statement where it looks like she had them wire it into your account. It is a Bank of America. Her bank is Bank of America too. So what she said was, put this money in my friend's account. I want to help my friend out. Okay? So I don't know what happened, but how is any of this her fault? In other words, when you were desperate for money and trying to pay your bills, the person who came through for you was her. And she came through for you through a Bank of America account. Apparently, when you sent money to her number and verified it was her number, you know, you sent it to, I don't know where it went. I don't know if somebody else is somebody else using that phone number now? Who is using that phone number?
I am.
If you are using that phone number, that's where the money went to. But you don't have a Zelle account associated with it.
No. And when I call customer service for Zelle, they said if I have Zelle in any way, if I did not receive the money through my phone, it would be through my email. There was nothing to my email, nothing to my phone number.
Right. Ms. Sweetland, you are in the clear if you can show me one thing where she authorizes you to Zelle it to that phone number. First, your answer was, well, that's how she sent me the money, but I'm not seeing proof of that. I'm seeing that she went to Bank of America personally and had them move the money from her Bank of America account to your Bank of America account. I do see in text where you say, hey, is this your phone number? So you're so used to Zelling stuff that's how you sent the money. Well, guess what?
Because that
ended up being
I
a
was
problem.
supposed to Zelle it.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you for 1 second. She doesn't even have a Zelle account.
I'm not like...
She never had a Zelle account. I'm fighting against you, Miss Sweetland. You owe her $500. Pay her $500. You know it never got there. You figure out where it went.
Dear Honor, how am I
figure out
supposed to
where
know
it
when
went.
I send it
Verdict
to her,
for
even
the
under the Zelle?
verdict. Yeah, you know what
Under
I
her
think
number,
happened?
it said it's
Somebody
Zelle for her.
set up their own TD account to a bunch of different numbers. And then they are
Because
hoping
it's her
that somebody
number.
gets paid. I don't know.
I don't
but the
know.
bottom line is you can't receive it if you don't
Because
have a
she
Zelle
got
account.
the
And
text.
she doesn't
She
have a
got
Zelle
the
account.
text.
Verdict for the plaintiff.
Well, Ms. Sweetland, you heard the judge. She says you've got to pay Ms. Reynolds back that $500, and you got to do it now.
I'm gonna check my text message because I know Miss Reynolds authorized me to send, and she know within herself that she told me to send the money by Zelle.
Well, look, you were unable to prove it to the judge, and so you lost this lawsuit. You've got a judgment now against you for $500. You're going to have to pay it.
Oh,
You're
well,
gonna
I
have to
can
come up with a
file
way
it
to
in
get the
court
money to
again.
her.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, well, she just clicked off. She's a little upset. Ms. Reynolds, you won the lawsuit, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So dishonest. I cannot believe that you reached so far. Wow.
You've got the law on your side here, so good luck.
$500 is missing, but it's pretty obvious from all the testimony and the evidence that neither of these two litigants stole that $500. It sure looks that way. It looks
Right.
like...
No, you know, what's very clear is it didn't come from a TD bank account. It
No.
went
The
on
teller
that
made the
bank statement. The
transfer.
teller, if she's physically there, nobody's downloading Zelle. The teller was transferring the money from one account to the other account for the same bank, because they both had Bank of America. That's how it came to her. And that's how it should have gone back.
Right.
You know, instead of risking going through Zelle when this lady doesn't use Zelle to save her life. You know, and then accusing her of being a liar and that her husband got the money. You have no proof of that.
No, that's
the
speculation.
defendant just didn't want to, you know, she did do something to try to get it. I see where she sent the text that she had been on hold for 45 minutes with TD Bank, and she's getting the runaround. But, and then that's it, she gave up. And you can't.
No, 45
you know?
minutes.
I love me a good puzzle, too. You know, I don't understand how it is that nobody sunk their teeth into it to try to figure out.
Somebody needs to crack the case.
Somebody needs to crack the case.
So Frank wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, if someone stores their stuff on your property for free for 18 months, what can you do to get them to remove their property once and for all? Two things. You can send them a note and you say this. Number one, you're going to have a week to get your stuff off the property, and if you don't get it off the property, I'm going to charge you $100 a month, something like that. The second thing you could do is say, look, you haven't picked up your stuff, you haven't done anything to show that you want it, so if you don't pick it up within, say, 30 days, I'm going to treat it as abandoned property and I'm going to get rid of it. That simple. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case inside the courtroom.
This is the plaintiff, Nicole Brown. She says the defendant is her younger cousin, and she called her in a panic one night because she got arrested and needed bail money. As a good cousin, she loaned her $600 cash, and now, 7 months later, she hasn't been paid a penny of it back. That's why she's here in court, suing. This is the defendant, Lakeisha Brown. She says the $600 was a gift from her cousin in her time of need because they're family. She can't believe she was sued today by her cousin because she's the one owed money, and she expects to finally get it from her cousin today. She's accused of bailing on bail. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for all the labor over all the years.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says that her younger cousin owes her money because she bailed her out of jail and now is getting stiffed. But the defendant says her cousin, the plaintiff, gave her the money as a gift in her time of need. So he shows her nothing. It's the case of bailing out a cousin.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Ms. Brown, you are suing your cousin. Is it first cousin?
My first cousin.
You are suing your cousin, Ms. Brown, for $600 that you loaned her to bail her out of jail that she refuses to repay. Tell me about it. What happened?
Well, back in March, Lakeisha called me frantically in the car saying that she was about to be arrested. And of course, being that she has an illness, I was like, nah, I don't want to see. And then the situation with COVID was happening. So she didn't want to be in jail. She have a major illness. So we didn't want her to be in
What
jail.
was she? What were you about to be arrested for, Ms. Brown, that you had time to call your cousin? What were you getting arrested for?
Well, it was I was driving my mother in back, and he said it was a tail light busted out, but I had an old ticket from like 2007 or '06.
Yeah, but what were you getting arrested for?
When they put me over, because of no tail light. They said a no tail light.
You don't get arrested for no tail light. What did you bond her out for? What were the charges? Yeah, what were the actual charges against you?
I got pulled over and I had a warrant for it was a
now
court
we're talking.
A court cause from back in 2007 or something like that.
Yeah, but we don't issue criminal warrants on people for a ticket. So what was the underlying charge that you never showed up for that got you the warrant? All right, never mind. Ms. Brown, do you know what the charges were when you were bailing your cousin out? Because she's not going to tell me.
I could have sworn she told me it was suspended license.
Now we're talking. Was that what it was? Did you have a suspended license over the ticket you didn't pay? And then that's when they stopped you. They said, lady, your license is suspended. Does that sound familiar?
No. In 2007, I had a court case. It was like a check case. Like I wrote a check and I had a remaining balance for court costs. That's what it was. And I had a warrant for the remaining balance of court costs.
So you call your cousin and you tell her, I need your help. I need you to help me post bail. What is it, Ms. Brown, that you do?
Well, I was a construction worker, but I was injured on the job. So I'm like out right now on disability.
Okay, but when Lakeisha calls you and says, can you help me out? Did you help her out?
Yes, immediately, because
how did you do
she
it?
has an illness. I sent $600 into her mom's account.
Okay, so were you in communication with her mom to try to get her the money?
Yes. Well, before Lakeisha was in the car being arrested, she called me and was like, please, I need you to lend me the money. I don't want to go to jail. This COVID thing is getting out of control. Please help me out. So I said, okay, no problem. She got arrested. I got into contact with her mom. I went the next morning and I deposited the $600 into her account.
Okay, and you bonded out when?
The next morning.
Okay, and then now that case is over with. What ended up happening with that case?
Once the $600 was paid, I was free to go.
Well, you got out, but you still have pending charges. What did you do about the charges?
I don't have any pending charges. I'm free to go.
Was the $600 and the remainder of the fines on the original?
Yes, ma'am. Like I paid $7,000, and the $600 was the other part of it.
Okay, so she paid your fines or restitution, whatever it was, on the check cashing case, and she wants to get repaid, and your answer to that is what? She doesn't deserve to be repaid. Why?
I do stuff for her, all the time, and it's vice versa. Like I would have did it for her. She can't say
right, but wouldn't you expect her to pay you back?
No, not for real. I do stuff. She know I wouldn't expect her to pay back. She know I wouldn't.
Okay, but did she ever tell you I'm giving you this as a gift, or you just assumed it?
No, but like a month after, like when I called her, I was like, I'm going to jail. Get me out. That's what I told her. Get me out. And then like a month later, she was like, you can start paying me on it every month. And that was a shocker because she said up front.
Okay, but why? Okay, so if no one talks about a payment plan up front, then the judge's job is to figure out, does this look like a loan or does this look like a gift? Now, if my cousin says, can you pay for my beer? That's gonna be a gift. I don't expect my cousin to sue me for $4 for a beer. But if my cousin calls me and says, get me out of jail, and it's $600 is what it takes, I'm not going to expect it to be a gift, right? Because the circumstances surrounding it don't make it look like a gift because it's so much money. It's a lot of money. Now, you have a counterclaim against her because you feel that if she's suing you for that $600, you would like to get paid for what?
Because everything I do, like when she calls me to do stuff for her, looking at the house, go around, take pictures of the house, let the electricians in. I cook. You know, if she tell me to clean up the house for her, like make the bed, wash the clothes, anything, she know I do it. Just like I know she'll do it for me. So she's suing me. It's only fair I get me some back.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Come on, man. Are you serious? Did she ever agree to pay you for any of that?
She'll give me,
Lakeisha?
like she'll give me, but she'll give me like stuff, like she'll give me stuff if I do for her. But I did a lot of stuff, just like she did a lot of stuff.
Nicole, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Your Honor, every time I ask this girl to do something for me, I pay her. They don't move for free. I mean, I'm sure she would, but I just don't feel comfortable enough to, you know, for them to do something for me for free. So I pay you and I compensate you in any type of way.
I don't ask for it, do it? Do I ask for it?
Is that not true?
Well, you asked for it that day, didn't you?
No,
I'm
but
going
I
to
still
jail. Get me
compensate you,
out.
though.
Get me out. Get me
Right.
out. With the one person you called to get you out,
Thank you,
you
Your Honor.
better not get another warrant, because I don't think anybody's going to be getting you out the second time. I'm ruling in favor of Nicole and the amount of the $600. Lakeisha, on your lawsuit against Nicole, of course, zero. You do have to pay this back. There's nothing about this that makes it look like it's a gift. It's not a gift. It's a loan. Pay the lady back. She helped you out in your time of need. Pay your cousin back. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm through with you. You are going to get it, Nikki. I ain't helping no more. You know that.
So the plaintiff does get the $600 back from Lakeisha Brown, the defendant. Lakeisha, let me ask you, were you shocked that she sued you for the money?
Yes, of course. I was pissed.
Well, look, you gotta pay her back. That's it. What are you gonna do?
I'm not going to jump that quick anymore. I'll still do, because she my first cousin, but I ain't studying her for a couple of days. For a couple of days, I ain't studying her.
All right, look, obviously you're good friends. Is this gonna hurt your friendship? What do you think?
Nah. But I ain't talking to her for a couple of days.
All right, well, she can live with that, I think. Nicole, you're going to get the $600 back, finally. That makes you happy?
I'm very happy. I'm so happy. Thank you, Judge Million.
All right. Well, let's see what the judges think now about a case like this.
So Nicole gets that 3 a.m. phone call, the middle of the night, and she has to bail out Lakeisha at the worst possible moment, because COVID is rampant in the county jail. Probably it's a big problem at that time, and she's got a serious health condition. I mean, Nicole might literally have saved her life,
and she can't pay her back the $600.
I'm trying to think of a historical example of ingratitude that even compares to this. I can't find it. I'm just thinking out loud.
I'm surprised at how angry she is and how right she feels, which is nuts.
Right.
It's nuts, because I couldn't have been more of a slam dunk for the plaintiff.
Right. It's like, come on, that's your ultimate hour of need. You're about to go into.
Like, even if you didn't think you were going to have to pay it back, once she says, you know, I'd like you to pay it back. If you want, pay it back little by little. What? That's a gift. Is a really weird attitude to take.
Almost like a middle finger to your person who saved you. So they look like they're getting along okay.
Yeah, they do.
Hopefully, going forward, it never happens again.
Right.
So Bob wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, if a contractor working on a neighbor's property constantly parks his heavy equipment on my lawn, can I have it towed away? It's a really good question. Typically, what you should do is put a sign up, and if you don't have one, you can go to a Home Depot or anything like that, get one of these no parking signs, violators will be towed, and make sure you're doing it where you comply with the ordinance in your town. You have to give a phone number on where they can find out where their car is. But what I would do is I would get one of those signs, I'd put it on the lawn, I would tell them, no more funny business, I'm going to tow your car if you do it, and here's the sign. That way you're protected, and the tow truck company will listen when you call. We'll see you next time.